Hello, I'm here. Please subscribe to my channel. My graduation was one of the most important days in my life. It was also the day that showed me who truly loved and supported me. The ceremony was very beautiful and I felt so accomplished after all those years of study. Unfortunately, nobody from my family came to my graduation. Not even my husband nor my kids. They all went to my brother's graduation instead. I was shocked and deeply hurt when I realized what they had done. I'm not close to my parents. We rarely speak or see each other. My dad lives far away in another city with his new family. And my mom and I don't get along. She thinks I'm selfish and spoiled because I chose my career over being a good little girl. So it didn't really bother me that they weren't going to show up. What bothered me is that my husband and my kids didn't show up either. We moved to a different city for me to go to university. My husband got a job there too. My 2 kids were born there. This city is our home now. I had told them about how important my graduation was to me. I had even asked my husband to take care of the kids so I could attend it. But he said he couldn't do it because he had to work. I was so disappointed, but I still hoped that at least one of them would come. On the day of the graduation, my aunt picked me up in her fancy car. She wore a beautiful hat and told me she was so proud of me. She gave me a big hug and drove me to the ceremony. My cousin and her boyfriend were there too. I was so happy to see them. I had asked them to come and support me. They even took some pictures of me before the ceremony. My aunt, cousin, and her boyfriend sat in the front row. They were so proud of me. When it was time for the ceremony, I walked onto the stage and shook the president's hand. He told me I looked beautiful and congratulated me. Then I walked over to my aunt, cousin, and her boyfriend and hugged them. When I turned around, I saw a familiar face in the crowd. It was my husband. I couldn't believe my eyes. I ran over to him and asked why he didn't tell me he was coming. He said he thought I knew he was going to be there. He said he had to work, but then he lied and said he was off that day. I was so angry. Why did he lie to me? Why didn't he come inside? Why did he leave me alone at such an important moment in my life? I wanted to scream at him, but I didn't. Instead, I just stared at him in disbelief. He looked down at his feet and mumbled something. Then he turned around and walked away without saying goodbye. I was heartbroken. Was this man really my husband? Did he really not care about me at all? I went back to my seat and tried to enjoy the rest of the ceremony. But I couldn't. All I could think about was my husband's betrayal. When it was over, I went to look for my cousin and aunt. They were talking to a group of people. I heard my cousin say, "I can't believe your husband didn't come inside. That's so rude." I just nodded. I didn't have the strength to talk. My aunt put her arm around my shoulder and led me outside. We got into her car and I told her about my husband's lies. She was furious. "That bastard," she said, "I'm gonna go after him." But I stopped her. I didn't want her to confront my husband. I was ashamed enough as it was. I didn't want more drama. I went home that night feeling defeated. I had worked so hard for my degree and nobody from my family had been there to support me. Not even my kids. How could they do this to me? I threw myself onto the bed and cried myself to sleep. The next morning, I woke up feeling exhausted. I hadn't slept well at all. I got up and went to the kitchen to make some breakfast. My husband wasn't there. Of course, he was working. I made myself a cup of tea and sat down at the table. That's when I saw the present he had left for me. It was a nice handbag. I hadn't asked for a present, but I guess he thought I deserved one. I looked at the bag and felt disgusted. How could he buy me a gift when he hadn't even shown up to my graduation? I went to the bathroom and threw up into the toilet. I couldn't keep the breakfast down either. I spent the whole day in bed. I was sick to my stomach. My cousin called me and asked how I was doing. I told her I felt terrible. She told me to come over, but I declined the offer. I didn't want anyone to see how pathetic I was. That night, my husband came home late. He looked tired, so I didn't say anything. He probably worked late. I lay in bed and pretended to be asleep. I heard him get into bed. I didn't move. I wanted to see if he would say something. He didn't. In the morning, he asked me if I wanted to go out for breakfast. I said yes and got out of bed. I was still feeling sick, but I didn't want to disappoint my husband. I needed to be strong. I needed to show him that he didn't break me. We went to a small cafe near our home. It was cozy and quiet. I ordered a cup of tea and a piece of toast. My husband ordered a coffee and a croissant. We ate in silence. I kept stealing glances at my husband, but he didn't seem to notice. He was staring at his phone. When we got home, I started cleaning the house. I had to do it anyway, so why wait? I opened the windows to let in some fresh air. It was a beautiful day. The sun was shining and the birds were singing. I could hear my neighbor's kids playing in the park. I smiled. It was a good day to be alive. At 3 p.m., the doorbell rang. I opened the door and saw a bouquet of flowers standing in front of me. There was a card attached to it. I opened it and read, "To my darling wife, congratulations on your graduation. I'm so proud of you. Love, your husband." I felt tears stinging my eyes. Was this a joke? How could he buy me flowers after ignoring me for 3 days? I threw the flowers into the trash. I didn't want his pity. I didn't want his fake apologies. In the evening, my husband tried to touch me. I slapped him. He looked at me in disbelief. "How could you?" He whispered. "You know what? You don't deserve an explanation. Get out," I said, spitting on the floor. He left without saying a word. I know he regrets his decision, but it's too late. I don't love him anymore. He broke my heart and shattered my trust. I don't think I'll ever forgive him. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.